So this is the second part of my dream being inside a FEMA camp, and it has to do, of course, with, actually seeing a FEMA camp and, having checkpoints in the military all around, all armed and ready to go. I'll link the video below so that you can take a look. But this is the second part. And in this part, I saw my friend again, who I saw in the last dream, who was trying to get out of the city and couldn't because he had to go to a checkpoint. Well, when I saw him this time in this part of the dream, he was holding his phone. And his phone was just right there. He was like looking at it, like texting. But there was something awkward about it because every time I looked at it, there was like a flash on the phone, like as if the phone was unexpectedly taking a picture. The phone kept flickering, like it kept like doo-doo, like there was like a little flash and flicker on it, and I couldn't figure out why it kept doing that. And then when I looked around this time, when I saw people in this dream of mine, they were all wearing pins. They were wearing pins, like the pins that you slip on your shirt or your clothes right here. They were wearing pins, buttons, clip-ons, and there were white beams flashing out of those pins and those buttons and those clip-ons. And it was as if there were like a picture being taken, because there was like a white beam that was being shown to everyone who had this clip-on or who had this pin. Or this card or whatever have you. And it looked as if these pictures or this beam was happening unexpectedly without people even knowing that it was being taken. And I was wondering, it reminded me of, a potential SIM card maybe that was installed or injected into their phones or their, because that's where I was seeing it. And it quickly reminded me of the movie Kingsman, where they have it shows Samuel Jackson giving out these little SIM cards to people, and these little free SIM cards, which ultimately end up blowing off your head. But what it really represents, and I got this wisdom from the Most High, it represents government surveillance, ultimate government control, new world order. You won't be able to go anywhere unless you have that chip or that card, and that's how they spy on you. That's how they control your every move. That's how they see where you're going. It's the ultimate control. It's the ultimate spying. The one world government, the communism and fascism at its greatest. And who knows? What I could have seen could have potentially been the mark of the beast. I don't know, but that's sort of what it looked like. That's sort of what it seemed. That was all I saw in that part and that portion. It was on the same day, November 11th. And here are some things that I think that it can mean, and just based on a month now of really interpreting and investigating. I don't know the time frame, so I can't put a date on when this will all begin or when it'll all happen. But here's a likely scenario I think that could happen, and I think that's already in the works now, as we can see with the government and with the race wars and race riots. After martial law has been declared, whether implicitly or through a state of emergency, or and this is in the city of Chicago, by the way, because we know the government's not going to call it martial law. Let's just be frank about that. Nor are they going to use the word detention or FEMA camps, but they might use resettlement camps or internment camps. But after some catastrophic event happens in Chicago, I don't know if it'll be a nuke going off or EMP, a blackout, the national weather disaster. It could be all of them. I don't know. And this is definitely will probably take place after the economic collapse as well. Just because there was so much chaos in my dream that the only way that could have taken place was after an economic collapse. But after that, and then after the military police state is enforced, because like I said in the part one of this, my friend couldn't go anywhere. It must have taken place after the military police state, because I saw the tanks and everything, and it had to have been when this little chip or this little SIM card was introduced, that you could that this would be taking place. And because you couldn't even be approved to go anywhere without this little chip. You couldn't even get approved to travel anywhere. You couldn't buy anything. You couldn't sell anything. That was the only means, your only way of going anywhere. And like I said, it has to do with also that green wristband that was in part one as well. So like I said, and also I think it could be a free SIM card. I don't know, but we're definitely there, folks. I mean, as we see in the world today, we see, uprising. We see civil unrest that they're trying to perpetrate. We see, the police and the military actively training in order to establish this thing, not just in Chicago, but worldwide, in many places with the Strong Cities Network and just a ton of things. So I don't know what exactly is going to happen. I don't know, it could be through pandemic as well, because one other option that I was thinking could happen is that they enforce this chip through, pandemic or through disease and say everybody needs to get vaccinated, everybody needs to get, have a mandatory vaccine for this pandemic that's spreading just randomly. And in order to do that, you have to come to this building, which is, the internment camp. And around the same time as, race riots and civil unrest. We're on the brink, folks. We're right there. And, like right after a cataclysmic event, we're going to start to see that unrest here in America. We're going to start to see more terrorism. We're going to see more uprisings. We're going to see more of these things, because it leads me to believe that my dream took place a day after a cataclysmic event happened in Chicago. Like I said, I don't know what that event is, but we're right on the brink, folks. I mean, and all I can really say is that if you're in Chicago right now, and just really anywhere, is to get ready, because things are about to escalate. Things are about to get much worse. And, I just really hope that people start to wake up to these things and start to see what's going on. We already see the helicopters and the military preparing. They're already starting their drills. I mean, just look at Paris. Look at France. France is already locked down. And it's only a matter of time until they hit our shores. And I just really, really hope that people will wake up, because when this does happen, and when, whether it's whatever cataclysmic event happens or events, and then which leads to martial law and the military coming in, you can definitely bet your bottom dollar that this will be what comes next. And by then there will probably be no dollar. There will be some new world currency, because the three main things that they have to have in order to accomplish their goal is a one world currency, a one world government, and a one world religion. And my first dream was covered the one world religion that's coming through the internet. And then this one covers the one world government. That's basically already here, folks. We already see it in the making, in the works. I mean, puppets being used, political puppets, the celebrities, and I think that's what had to do with part one of my dream, seeing the celebrities there in order to enforce the mark of the beast. So, just really get ready, really seek the Most High if you haven't, really seek Yahweh. If you're seeking Him for the first time, excuse me, I really recommend you continue seeking Him, because He is the only way. Your guns will not save you. Your bunkers and shelters will not save you. A man will not save. Man definitely won't save you. Your government definitely won't save you. The police definitely won't save you. Only Yahweh will save you. Only the Most High, the creator of heaven, earth, you and me. Only He will save. And just really, really, really seek your mind to Him, because like I said, in America, things are about to heat up. Things are about to get 10 times worse. And, I don't know when all of this is going to start. I can't put a timeline or a date on it, but I know that every single day that we do have left before the grid shut down, before all this takes place, is to get the truth out as much as you can, because there isn't a lot of time. And that's what I'm going to do, because, the Most High has given us this time to really do that and to try to wake up as many people as we can. So I really urge you to do the same thing. Get this out, spread the word, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.